Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 8, season 2 of Let's Race with Cone. This one's gonna be a double header, 2 races in 1 episode. Gonna start out, both races will be in the Miata once again, the MX-5 Cup, on the Watkins Glen Classic course. Chose to do 2 races for various reasons, but mostly due to the length of these races. They're only 25 minutes. The first race I did right after qualifying, so I did a practice qualifying and race all in one day.
Hey Perry, how's it going?
First thing I have to mention is that the people in this race end up being really cool. I mean, they're very respectful, but they're kind of chatty. So some of my commentary might have to wait for some of the other people's commentary in this episode.
Nice guys, keep it cool.
Okay, so we go down the starting pretty far up in the field. Got some of the faster VW TDIs coming by here. They're about 2-3 seconds a lap faster, so we all agreed to just let them go ahead.
All clear, all clear.
Didn't get off to a great start, but didn't crash, so that's something. Just one more TDI to let by.
Keep left. All clear, all clear.
They go rumbling by. Already you can see this is the first time you'll see 6th gear at this track, and didn't hit 6th gear at all in practice. So that's just how pivotal the draft is with this car. And we'll get to see a lot of that later. I really learned a whole lot about close quarters racing in this one.
Nice first lap, guys. Not over yet.
Yeah. That was a very true statement. Because right here, Solstice gets together with one of the Miatas. Not too much damage done. Everybody seemed to get through there pretty good, but it kind of screwed me up going in there and locked up the brakes going in.
1 minute 30.
So my heart rate was pretty high at this point.
All clear, all clear.
Clearly I wasn't thinking right, because for whatever reason I go down to 3rd gear in this turn. Not supposed to do that. So right in the middle of the pack, people are going to go flying around me.
Still there. Clear on the right. You got one on your right.
So I said I wanted to get back to some door-to-door racing, and here we go.
All clear, all clear. You got one on your right. Keep left.
We have 8 cars here within about 10 feet of
Keep
each
left.
other.
3 wide, you're on the left.
It's going to be a fun turn.
Hold your line. You got one on your right. 2 wide there. Stay left. Clear on the right. Or on your right.
So those two get together there. Somehow Ronald does not spin, but it causes quite a commotion behind us.
Make that 7 cars.
That actually,
Just got hit and I stayed on the track.
yeah, it was the 7 car that got into the 20 there. But that kind of gets us into a little bit of an open spot here.
You got one on your right.
So you got a little offline there.
Clear on the right.
Definitely appears as though people don't practice as much for this series as maybe the McLaren or GT Talons or whatever, but
1 minute.
it definitely seems apparent that not everybody was completely used to the track as they started the race. I was a little guilty of that myself, but I definitely felt more comfortable here than I had felt in a long time. So at this point, I'm sitting 4th overall in the MX-5 class. The leader is just checked out at this point. I feel as though I'm faster than the car ahead of me, and the car behind me is getting that draft. But eventually I catch up to Perry, and through the effect of the draft, I really catch him down here into the inner loop. He goes wide there.
Car on your left.
It's just enough for me to get by.
Still there. Keep right there.
Brandon, roll through.
So he gives me the
got it.
go ahead to just
Stay right.
take this turn, and
Clear on the
he'll
left.
get behind. That's a sign of a good racer there that is willing to just give up the position because he knows it's already past that point of no return.
That much, you gotta expect me a little bump there. I can say anything about it. Before you do.
1 minute 26.6.
So already turning faster times than I did in qualifying, which is good. That means that maybe my qualifying time was reflective of just not being able to draft off anybody.
I knocked all the goodness out of the car.
So jumping up it a little bit.
1 minute
Still running the same two cars here, Perry and the 4 car. He runs wide there, but I kind of over apex the turn, and it kills all your speed coming up the S's here.
Car on your left.
A little bit of a nudge there.
All clear.
What that does is it groups all of us together, and what I don't realize at this point is there's now about 6 cars within a second of us.
Got
So
one on
11
your
car
right.
gets a nice little draft run down the straightaway here,
Still there.
but the 4 car gets a huge
3
run.
wide, you're on the left. Car on your right. 2 wide
Luckily
there.
he makes the wise decision to back off,
Stay left.
but
Stay left.
no, I missed the apex of that turn and have to run wide. But that's just kind of this style of racing. You gotta let people go, or you're gonna get run over. These cars are so similar.
No, not here.
Even though you do get to adjust the setup, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Alright, bud. That's cool, it worked out. Drafted.
So I'm thinking the 11 car had this mindset at this point of let's all work together and draft up to the leaders. I don't think even if we had ended up doing that, it would have worked. But you can see right there, none of us are really focusing on making ideal times. We're all kind of still jockeying for position at this point.
Man, we got a bunch of people drafting now. Yep.
See here the amount of speed we're gaining down the backstretch here. And once again, the 11 kind of misses his marks there. It's easy to do. You get such a big run down that straightaway that you enter much differently than you would normally. But I'm starting to feel really confident at this point in the race. I gotten used to shifting again, gotten used to the car, and I was really focusing on nothing more than passing people, which is cool to me because I felt like I haven't been able to do that in a while.
1 minute 26.762.
See, they're both running super wide there. Granted, I went wider than I should, but
Sorry,
but you don't want to be going out as far as having to clip the grass to get back on the track.
Don't forget to uncheck the cars, gas, and still.
So here we go with that big run down the backstretch again. I don't have anywhere to go here, so I'm just going to let it rev out. But a little jam up on the brakes there. Nobody really had anywhere to go. 11 makes a bit of a bold move here. This is my least favorite turn to try and make a pass.
Beautiful. Take it.
They both somehow managed to hold on through there.
God, how nice to race with some good drivers.
1 minute 28.032.
How nice to hear that you're all racing each other back there.
He makes a valid point. We're pretty much handing him the race by racing so hard.
No problem. I was in big trouble if you hadn't given me a little room there. And that drafting.
Now we're up to 5 in this trip.
So I thought this was going to work. I've done some NASCAR racing. I thought maybe if I did some nice bump drafting here, I could push him ahead. It seems like this car stalls right out when she get on the bumper. What it did do was push him into this turn faster than he probably wanted to be.
Christ, this is like NASCAR.
See, I'm taking this turn a lot better. I felt really comfortable all through this section.
I've been southern all day, man. From Tennessee. Where y'all from?
This is something you don't see in
Quarterback here.
like the Grand Am or the GT Challenge series, because those cars are so much on edge. You don't have time to talk. It takes full concentration. So it is a lot more laid back.
Just kidding.
Car on your left. Keep right there.
I've car windscreen.
Still there. Still there.
So this will get your heart rate
Still
pumping.
there.
2 by 2.
All clear, all clear.
But everybody makes it through. That's what was really great. Everybody was racing, but nobody was really pushing the issue. Nobody was getting upset or feeling like people were blocking. That was a ballsy move by the Ford car.
Car on your right.
That usually doesn't stick. It never works for me. So I managed to get by him on the outside there.
Well, gas means about, what, 7 pounds a gallon?
Yeah, 7 or 8. Well, you can go probably 3 gallons on the track.
Bump the 11 car here. In reality, I should not have done that. I should have just gone beside him and tried to pass him, because, as you can see, this whole bump drafting thing doesn't go anywhere. Which feels kind of a flaw in this game. I've seen Spec Beyonders race, and they bump draft very well.
Got one on your left. Keep right there. Still there.
So now side by side, going into the
Still there.
turn that I hate the most. I decided to let him go.
Wow, that was pretty hairy, leader. Holy shit, Brandon. That was
What he does there is one of the more common things here is pushing wide out of that turn and clipping the wall. Usually it's not too bad of a thing to do. It doesn't completely ruin the car or anything. later on, I'm going to follow the 4 cars. He does it. I'm going to do it. And then, because he lost so much speed, I'm going to hit him.
Car on your right.
And that was actually a pretty solid hit, both to the side and the front.
1 minute 27.204.
So my reflexes could have been a little better there if I had not bumped into him after the turn. I probably could have just passed him and been on my way. What that does is causes quite the bottle up here. Got now 3 cars behind me, or sorry, 2 cars behind me that are got a pretty good head of steam. And I've got a pretty good run on the 2 in front of me, but they split and give me nowhere to go.
Car on your left. Stay right.
And it all goes wrong.
Clear on the left.
Oh, how did that happen?
Sorry, Humberto.
So what happens, I'm not really
I think I got a
sure.
little damage.
It seems like I had
I'll talk.
mentioned earlier, you don't want to enter that turn low. It seems like what happened was I just entered too low, clipped the curb, and it just kicked sideways. There was no saving it, there was no correcting it. It just instantly hooked to the right and spun to the left. And unfortunately, I did end up hitting the 20 car, but he somehow managed to get out of it unscathed and finish the race. But my race was done right there. So I was really bummed about that. I really wanted to finish that race out. If I had finished it, would have been top 5 for sure, and would have been easily one of the best races I've ever done. It still was, but didn't get the result. So I decide about a couple days later that I'm going to do another race. And you can see there I'm starting really high up in what was a huge field of cars. I think there was 20 in the Miata class alone. This race is going to shake out quite a bit differently though. Pretty sane turn 1 there. Everybody gave quite a bit of room. Pretty sure there was a lot of calamity that ended up happening in the back of the pack. That's why I think it is crucial to qualify. Because all those people that were in the back, you don't know who you're starting with. You could be starting with somebody who's not turned a lap of practice. So there's definitely something to be said about just taking the 20 minutes to do a qualifying lap.
That was a brutal start.
So this race, for whatever reason, I just kind of get into this little spot here where I'm not catching anybody and nobody's catching me. So I basically run after this one little incident in the same spot that I happened in the last race, oddly.
Car on your left.
From here on, it is smooth sailing. I'm not going to battle anybody else for position. I'm not even going to, like, deal with hardly any lap traffic. And I don't know why that is, it just happens. I don't mind that it happened. I was able to run real consistent laps. I actually ended up running some of my fastest laps, faster than in practice or qualifying. So it was great from a actual race standpoint, but it definitely was not what I had in mind when I decided to do these races. I wanted to work on racecraft and battling with other people. So I'm not going to show a whole lot of this race because it's pretty boring. But I'm excited in that I was able to run very consistent. I didn't have any major issues. I think I only had one off track, and that was just a little tire drop. So able to recover some of that safety rating that I lost quite a bit of from the last race. But like I said, that wasn't really what I had in mind here. I personally have crewed for a Spec Miata, which is SECA series. It's older Miatas, a little bit slower than this, but it's very similar style racing, and just from what I've seen, they are very high contact, very close quarters kind of racing, and that's what I wanted to get back to, because I felt like I kind of missed that with the faster cars. It's probably going to take me getting faster with those cars to kind of get back into that in those series. I don't think racing is dead once you go to the faster cars, but you have to be competitive to do so. So here's the only bit of racing that I did this whole race, pretty much. 2 lap cars that they were lapped, but they had pit because of wrecks, so they were actually pretty well on pace. They could buy the 25 car here with basically no problems.
Clear on the way.
This 21 car, though, is going to be a little bit more difficult to pass. I don't really understand people's prerogative in this position. If you were in 14th place, 2 laps down, why not just let the leader go? Or not obviously the leader, but the faster car. He's obviously getting a blue flag here. I realize he's racing the 25 behind him, but if he had orchestrated a move with me to just let me go somewhere easy, he could have not had to lose any speed, I think. So for the first time this race, I'm pulling a draft down the backstretch here. So you can close about 3/10 just in drafting somebody down the backstretch. Good run out of the inner loop. He's offline there, so that gives me a really good run through these last 2, and hopefully down the front stretch. And it's here we've got about a half-second gap to the car behind. He could have just pulled to the left, braked 50 meters early and let me by. But instead, he brakes right where he wants to, and I have to kind of dive bomb down here. He goes completely off apex to let me by. So, if there's one thing I think I do pretty well, it's respecting cars that are passing me. And I wish more people would do the same. But that's basically it for this race. This is a white flag lap here. Coming to the end, you can see the leaders. The top 3 actually had a great race. They were switching position the whole race, so I was very jealous of them having this awesome race for the lead. But I'm back here, 12 seconds behind. But you know what? That's how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you just have boring races. Checkered flag, 4th place finish out of a 20-car field. I'm pretty ecstatic with that. That's gonna give me some of that I rating back, some of the safety rating back.
Great job,
So in the first race, I learned a lot about, you know, car craft, racecraft, car control, how to wreck in the inner loop. And in the second race, I gained all those points back to make it so it didn't matter that I did all that stuff. So it all works out. But that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching as always. Next week I'm going to go one step up. I'm going to go up to the Mustang, and it's going to be the Daytona Road Course. So until then, I'll see you next time.